Okay, so Andrew Tate just got banned off of Facebook and Instagram, and I wanted to go over uh, what's been happening. R.I.P. Andrew Tate. I drew this picture in remembrance of him. Is that a little bit of hair on top? I'm pretty sure he has zero hair. Aiden Ross x Andrew Tate. Oh, so after Aiden Ross had Andrew Tate on one last time, because there's a pretty good chance Tate is going to get banned from Twitch, maybe YouTube, maybe even TikTok. I don't know what you have to do to get banned off of TikTok. Seems like there's a lot of like really degenerate shit on there that's not banned, but maybe he'll get banned. But looks like Aiden smelled blood in the water and was like, okay, I gotta get this guy on before he's banned again. And at the end, Aiden sort of had a little Joker moment and revealed his true feelings for Andrew. So why don't we see? Who's that person? So you're never getting it back. You're always gonna be bald.
You'll always be bald.
You'll always be bald. Wait, what is he saying exactly? Fuck you, Andrew. You're never getting it back. You're banned. You're never coming back.
Oh. What you're doing. I know you're gonna see this. You're gonna always be bald.
You're gonna always be bald. And I like they had to add Hassan laughing at the end. Yeah. No matter what you do, no matter how good you are at kickboxing, or how much muscles you have, or how much of an asshole you act as, you will always be bald, and there's nothing you can do to change that. He's a bald cell. Andrew is. That's what he is. Yeah, he's insecure because he's bald. Apparently he's pretty tall, but like I guess that's not enough. You gotta, if you're one of these kinds of guys who value their masculinity so much, you can't have a single hair out of place. Well, Andrew doesn't have any hair, so that's a metaphor though. Yep. You're always gonna be banned, and you're always gonna be bald. Stay losing, Andrew. More like L Drew. Yeah, hold this L. I can't believe the amount of enlightened centrists crying about Andrew Tate being deplatformed. All men, by the way. He's a hate-mongering criminal scammer. Literally fuck him. Yeah. Why do you care about him being deplatformed? I mean, yeah, it's like, just, it's not how the marketplace of ideas works, really. It's not like, oh, the better ideas always win out in the end. If you allow people, if you, like Andrew or whoever, to spread these like hateful ideas, then like he's going to reach an audience, right? And he's going to influence people. He's going to influence people to think bad things and do bad things, as we're hearing like all these stories about people doing or saying awful things because they're Andrew Tate fans. Actually, let's find that sometime. It's like, and sometimes when he is beaten in the marketplace of ideas, right? Sometimes that does happen, but like was it only Hassan? Hassan was the big one who, like, oh, this is it, actually. I commented on it. Nice. My 12-year-old cousin, he's autistic, and his friends are all Andrew Tate fans. Nice. Yeah. Only autists. Only the bad autists like Andrew Tate, because they're good autists. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, he's out there spreading these hateful ideas, and so some people are going to believe him and like act on those hateful ideas. And like even when he is confronted in the so-called marketplace of ideas, he is beaten, of course, because like because he's just wrong, and like it's not that he's politically incorrect. It's not just that he's politically incorrect. It's that he is just incorrect, simply. And what was his retort to Hassan? His response to Hassan was, "You're boring. You're really bringing down the mood here with your facts and logic and evidence. Like, we're here to have fun here on the Andrew Tate jerk-off stream. Yeah, go to your leftist stream if you want to talk about actual facts. Like." And like he kept getting confronted on like you're talking about anecdotes. Your anecdotes do not support like your worldview being legitimate. Like your anecdote, your personal experiences like are contradictory to the data, and you can't found your worldview on like your personal experiences like that. And his response was like, "Oh yeah, but like it's how I feel, you know." It's really a feelings-based argument over facts. It's like that kind of rhetoric appeals to people, even if it's not good. It's not good rhetoric. It's not a really very well-formed argument, but it appeals to like an intuitive feeling in a lot of guys, unfortunately, and so that's why he retained the following, even though like he was like not able to defend himself. Oh. R.I.P. Andrew Tate. Yeah, this is a terrible drawing. Has more hair. Improved it. Wait, what? Are these his pecs? What? Shouldn't be this big. Oh, these are his balls. Oh, this is a dick. Oh, yeah, he's just got two big balls. Yeah, this ball shouldn't be that big. Yeah, just a big thumb. Tate is a madman. Help us, save us. What up, dick neck? Yeah. Let's see. Terrible drawing. The real Andrew does not have nearly that much hair. Nice. If Andrew Tate loses his podcast, at least he'll always have human trafficking. Yeah. How do you lose a podcast? Like, all the podcast platforms refuse to host your podcast. The Hustler University shut down. The program encouraged followers to post videos. Helped former kickboxer go viral. I don't want to see that. Money-making scheme for fans of extreme misogynists closes. Oh yeah, so this is crazy. The university was, let's see, an online academy for fans of Tate's promising to help them earn thousands of pounds has shut off its affiliate marketing program, so it has no future. The program has enabled Tate's followers to earn commissions for signing up new members and encouraging them to post videos of him to get as many referrals as possible. This is literally just a pyramid scheme. It led to thousands of videos of a former kickboxer and reality star, being posted on social media, generating thousands of referrals and propelling Tate to viral fame. So is this literally like the only reason, or like one of the big reasons that he went viral? Because like he coerced a bunch of like gullible losers into like sharing his clips online? That's crazy. Like there are all these like Andrew Tate like follower like stan channels, right, on like whatever social media that just post clips of him all the time, and that's why he's everywhere. So yeah, and this is literally like a pyramid scheme. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to make money by sharing clips of me on social media. Yeah, this will really teach you some really valuable skills and life lessons here. Yeah, sure. I don't know about that. Yeah, earn commissions for signing up new members. It's literally just like a pyramid scheme. Yeah, so that seems like one of the reasons like why Andrew Tate like rose to fame so fast and then collapsed so fast. I mean, we'll see how much he collapses exactly, because being banned by Meta is a pretty big deal. There are talks of him being banned from Twitch or YouTube. The other thing is, like, it's not just that he's like being shared everywhere by all his insane fans. It's that he's like, he says such like outrageous and inflammatory shit that they're bound to go viral, right? Like, if you say like controversial things and you say them like really confidently and loudly and like annoyingly, obnoxiously, then that'll get a lot of traction. There will be a lot of love and a lot of hate. There's going to be a lot of people strongly agreeing with you, and a lot of people strongly disagreeing with you, and both people like share them. Both people like give them a lot of attention, right? Problem is, when you cross the line into like territory where your controversial takes are like so hateful and disgusting that you get bans, because like it's one thing if it's just like leftists or like feminists or like super online people who are getting pissed off by you, but it's a whole other thing if the normies get involved, the terrifying normie hordes of just regular ass people. Like, there are literally like millions of them out there, these normies, and once you get the normies interested in it, then you can like coordinate their massive people power to like get anyone banned off of anything, really. That's the only power that the cancel mob has, getting people canceled. To be fair, Tate does deserve it. Like, for all the people saying, "Oh, just allow him to do whatever, to say whatever." Yeah, that's it's not a good idea. But what was I saying? Oh my gosh, Andrew Tate dropped some wild conspiracy theories. Oh, is he talking about why he was canceled?
Flights into Europe, so all these low-cost carriers. I'm flying with
low-cost carriers.
I have a mask.
Excuse
me, sir. Put the mask over your nose. This fucking air stewardess is minimum wage. So I put my mask on my nose.
Oh, B word.
Everyone was freaking out about masks. I had to fill in all these home office papers when I landed. All this crap. PCR test. Blah blah.
Yeah. Oh, of course he's anti-lockdown, anti-mask. I wonder if he's anti-vax.
No home office paperwork. My pilots weren't wearing masks. When I landed at Biggin Hill Airport, the people who met me in the BMW, no one was wearing a mask.
No masks.
Nobody had a mask on, no mask.
Okay.
You know why?
Cool.
Corona doesn't exist for the rich people. As soon as you pay 50 grand for a flight, now that'll trouble you then.
Oh, okay.
On the Wizz Air flight. It's all fucking scam. All of it's a scam. And this is how the whole world has always worked and always will work.
I mean,
and people at the bottom just don't seem to get it. They don't seem to wake up. And they don't seem to wake up because the people in charge try very hard to keep them asleep.
I mean,
a whole bunch of people who were your slaves.
is this actually true?
Why would you do that? No. When's the last time you went to school and learned how money works? Or banks work? Or taxes? Or any of the things that they use to control you? No. They teach you about fucking photosynthesis. They don't want you to know anything. They don't want us to know anything. They just want us sitting there going, okay, he's a panda, and I stay in my house because of Corona. Clap for the NHS. Like a performing seal.
What?
Like an idiot. And people are idiots. So they
yeah, a lot of people are idiots, like this guy.
How'd you make all this money? I opened my fucking eyes. I looked around me. I started to think. Things that people never seem to do. I don't know how they live in a dream for so fucking long. I woke up out of the dream, right? But this is the truth. Governments are absolutely the enemy of the people. They always have been, they always fucking will be. Fuck all of them.
Okay, so he started off okay. He had me in the first half, not gonna lie. There are different sets of rules for rich people as than there are for like the common folk, the masses, the unwashed masses of people. Yeah, because I mean that is true. That is a problem. Like wealth inequality has like created like a two-tiered justice system, a two-tiered COVID system. Even like all the commoners have to wear masks and quarantine and like and like social distance, but like all the rich people don't even wear masks. But like he turned that into like the government's oppressing the masses instead of like the rich people taking all of the wealth and like bro I want yeah, it's like these right wingers like it's like they believe in capitalism, right? But they still can't like prevent themselves from seeing like the contradictions of capitalism when they're like right in front of their face. They can see it with their own eyes, but they have to rationalize it somehow. So they invent all these wild conspiracy theories about like, oh, this like a one world Illuminati government is like trying to control you. They're wearing they're making you wear a mask to like just to like flex on you, just to flex their power, I guess, because they don't believe that masks do anything, right? Like if you believe like wearing a mask actually prevents you from spreading disease, then like that'll be one thing, but like they don't even think masks do anything. So like yeah, they have to invent all these conspiracy theories about like why the world is so fucked up, even though it shouldn't be. Like they think they're fans of like the economic system. They're fans of this economic system. So they can't think, oh, it's because of the economic system. It has to be for some other reason. Anyway, bro, I want to cry. My little brother's a lost cause. This is about Andrew Tate. That was in 2012. He's changed. He's a lot more chill now. I'll watch him only a little bit. The second one was only in 2016. Oh yeah, because he's much better right now in 2022. Okay, cool. I don't know who Andrew Tate is, but I've seen people celebrate his move from Instagram because he gives harmful advice to men. If that's the standard, then add to the list of thousands of toxic female self-help gurus who encourage women to be miserable narcissists. I mean, that is a problem, but like I think Andrew's on another level of harm being done. Yeah, cause like actually, let's look at this now. My 12-year-old cousin, he's autistic, and his friends are all Andrew Tate fans. They all discovered him through TikTok. Andrew Tate is like destroying the minds of an entire generation of young men, and it's really sad. We found out after a teacher reported stuff he was saying to girls in his class after his mom blocked TikTok from his phone. He called her a worthless whore, and he still watches videos at school with his friends. My aunt has been just crying on the phone with my mom for over a week, blaming herself, and she's just so sad that she can't reach him. Damn. They're considering cashing out for private therapy for him since the public mental health care waiting list is so long. My family is all very progressive and we're all very worried for him. He doesn't want to talk to any woman. He's completely unreachable. And everyone in our immediate family are women. Wait, everyone in the immediate family are women? Okay, well maybe that's the problem. I just pray that we're able to get this alt-right pipeline fixed before he grows up and ruins his life. Yeah, so he doesn't have any man in his family that he can talk to. Yeah, so this is one thing. Like, seems like a lot of these young men who fall down this like manosphere rabbit hole are like very insecure and very uncertain about their place in the social hierarchy, their social status. So they like angrily lash out. They cling to whatever meaning they can find. And like if they can blame women for their problems, then they'll do that, right? Instead of like improving themselves and like getting some self-confidence as men. Yeah, I don't think any therapy is going to help this guy, unfortunately. Yeah, what is the therapist going to do? Talk to him? Yeah, unfortunately, I'm anti-therapy pilled because I've been to therapy and it didn't solve any of my problems All my problems were solved by like working on myself. Now therapy is useful. Like talking about your problems can help you figure out what you're supposed to do, but then you gotta do those things, you know? Therapy can only do so much for you before you have to take responsibility for your own problems. And unfortunately, like, I learned that when I was in my 20s, but like this kid is 12. He's a 12-year-old kid, and he's autistic. Of course. Yeah, being an autist does not help with any of these problems. He's too young to figure it out on his own. That's why he's like being a piece of shit, because he doesn't know what else to do. And like it's sad. It's easy to just say he's a bad person, but that's not the issue. Like, did like millions of people just all of a sudden decide to become worse people? No. This is why you can't solve this by like shaming people. Shaming people only like pushes them further away and makes them dislike you more. But like, what I said was, according to his teacher, basically all the boys at the middle school are Andrew Tate fans. They watch clips of him on TikTok. This is a cancer. Yeah, it's, as like someone who isn't a Zoomer, it may be hard to understand like how much influence TikTok has, because like there are so many people on TikTok. Like, I will make TikToks and then post them to Instagram and do the same hashtags, and like the hashtags on TikTok that have like 50 billion views or something have like barely a billion views on Instagram or something. TikTok is huge, and like literally everyone under the age of like 20 watches TikTok. Christ, that's depressing. I feel bad for them being manipulated, and I feel really bad for this generation of girls having to deal with that. Oh, of course. Yeah, it's the girls who like are gonna have to deal with all this like awful stuff. And like the guys are going to like ruin their relationships, ruin their chance of having any relationship, any healthy relationship with a girl. Cause like, I don't know, even if some of the stuff Andrew Tate is saying is like kind of true somehow in certain situations, it certainly is not true for like high school age boys. The thing about kids is that they are still at a forming age. All they need is a good experience, and their entire viewpoint can be salvaged. It's not too late. It's never too late. Yeah, but what if well, it's too late once they grow up and they still are a piece of shit, kind of, right? Then it's kind of too late, because like they've been a piece of shit their entire life, and like it's hard to change after that. I agree these kids can still be saved. I just feel bad that all these middle school and teenage girls have to deal with boys constantly and they're worthless and inferior. Oh my gosh, yeah, can't imagine. Here's what I said. He's lucky he's in a progressive family, because if there was one guy in there that was actually traditionally masculine, he would whoop that kid's ass and teach him to respect his elders. And that triggered a whole conversation about corporal punishment, and like, this guy says, I understand the impulse to a certain extent, but you never want to hit children, especially ones going down this path. They start to see striking out as an acceptable thing to do, and with the influence of psychopaths like Andrew Tate in their ears, it will just add to the development of a generation of domestic abusers. Yeah, that is an interesting question, because it's like, what is going to change this guy's minds? This kid, if he doesn't like learn his lesson, if like, how is he going to learn? Because like, I don't know, just slapping him or something has got to do something. Maybe that will get him to shut up, but it won't like change his worldview at all. He's got to be exposed to different ideas. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, hitting your kid is a good way to get him to shut up, but it's not a good way of like actually dealing with the underlying issue that's making him act out. So yeah, but my point still stands. If there was a traditionally masculine guy there who insulted who learned that this kid insulted their mother, like that, they would teach him something. Yeah. That's not why I think that this kid needs like a male role model. Not to beat him up, but to teach him how to be like a wholesome, a wholesomely masculine man. That's what, that's a big problem. Like, it is true that there is a crisis in masculinity, but like not exactly the way that people like Jordan Peterson say there is. There is like a lack of healthy, wholesome masculine role models out there. And I think this is a failure of modern feminism, unfortunately, because second wave feminism was all about how like men are evil, men are the oppressors, men are the patriarchy, and third wave feminism is also not great. There's a lot of misandry on the left. The whole phrase toxic masculinity is like very inflammatory because some like fragile men, and that is a thing, like all men are it's fragile masculinity. They take offense to that, and they're like, oh, how could you say that masculinity is toxic? Men built the world, men built the civilization we live in. But I mean, they're kind of missing the point, but it is a really bad slogan to say like, oh, masculinity is toxic, because then you either have to explain, oh, we don't mean all masculinity is toxic, we just mean like certain elements of masculinity can be toxic, or like some masculinity is toxic. But then there are the radical feminists who believe, no, we do mean all masculinity is toxic, and if you're a male, you have to stop being a man for you to be a good person. It's like, I think they're missing a really big piece of the puzzle here. I believe in such a thing as wholesome masculinity. Okay? I believe that it's possible to be unapologetically masculine and still be like a good, healthy, well-adjusted, wholesome person. And I think that's part of what like people like Jordan Peterson speak to, which is like this lack of feminism's lack of like being able to provide a healthy role model to aspire to, other than saying like, oh, men are bad, this part of masculinity is bad, this and this and this should be abolished. They should make prescriptive statements of like what should be done rather than what shouldn't be done. That's a problem with a lot of leftists, unfortunately. It seems like leftists are very good at critiquing things, but not very good at offering an alternative solution. It's like socialism, right? Karl Marx was very good at critiquing capitalism, but not so much when it came to actually like construction on an alternative system to it. So hopefully we can find a model of wholesome masculinity to aspire to. And I think that's the job of male feminists, like such as myself. I do consider myself a male feminist. As much as that term has been sullied, honestly, I don't like using the term feminist even, because it's just like, it's just such a turn-off for so many even regular people, regular dudes who think feminism is just super cringe, because it is. Of course, I think like women should be equal and all. I agree with feminism on like most issues, just like I agree with like SJWs on most issues. It's just the methodology that I disagree with. Okay, it's the attitude. Okay, because like has an SJW ever convinced anyone to change their mind by just like yelling at them and screaming and like scolding them and telling them that they're a bad person or they're toxic or whatever? No, that's not how political ideas are spread. No, you gotta actually make the arguments, which I think is the job of like what should we call male feminists? What's a better term for male feminists? A male ally of woman? Yeah, sure. A male ally? That's already a thing. Yeah, so it's the job of male allies like us to figure out how to be wholesomely masculine ourselves, and then spread those ideas to other people. And I think I've been working on that. I think I've thought a lot about masculinity and femininity and what they mean. Like what does it even mean to be masculine or feminine? Like, what does masculinity even mean? Because masculinity and femininity are ascribed to things that are not even alive, like strong masculine lines or feminine curves or something. I think, like, masculinity and femininity are two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. Just like light and dark, 0 and 1, ocean and lands, or hot and cold. You gotta have both of them, and you gotta find like a middle ground in between the two extremes. Because, like, I've been really disillusioned by feminism, unfortunately. Like, honestly, I've experienced some misandry myself, and it's like, I'm literally trying to help you. Like, I'm on your side, but you're still, like, attacking me just because I'm a man. It's really frustrating, you know? Just because, like, I don't know. Just because of some minor disagreement, I'm told to shut up because I'm a man. It's, like, it's cringe. It feels like these people, like, take progress for granted, you know? They, I was literally told to go educate myself, and it's like, educate myself on what? Literally, what you want me to educate myself on? At least you can tell me what you want me to educate myself on, so I can go do the reading. Like, oh, go read this chapter of Rebecca Solnit's new book. That's a feminist author. I did read like part of one of her books, so that's more than a lot of men can say. Okay, ladies. So I'm not misogynist. And it's like, I was called a misogynist, but they didn't even say like how I was misogynist. They just calling me names. And so yeah, they take progress for granted, as if like, oh, the only reason I disagree with you is I'm not educated enough. Okay, sure. And it's like, progress does not always move forward. Sometimes progress is reversed. Like I think Amber Heard like set the women's movement back at least 10 years. Like, all the Me Too stuff has been just like, all of it has, like, a lot of it has been like negated now because this big Me Too story was proven to be false. And I think, like, it's stuff like that that is causing the new anti-SJW wave. Here, this feels like the new anti-SJW wave. The Xander Hall theorem confirmed. Yeah, Xander Hall talked about this, that there's a new Gamergate era on the rise. Yeah, what do we call the new Gamergate? Andrewgate, TikTokgate, Retardgate. Yeah, R-word gate. The people falling for the shit and the ones selling that shit are significantly dumber, and their arguments are actually brain dead, even when compared with Gamergate. Never thought of that. Like, is Gamergate 2 worse than the original Gamergate? You wouldn't think it could get worse, but I guess it did. I guess Gamergate did have some points, like, it is dumb to like just shoehorn in progressive media where it doesn't belong, which I don't know. It might have a point there, but like this is the Gamergate 2 is literally just hating women. So I think it is the job of like male allies to figure out what to say to convince other men, because it seems like the SJWs are not going to convince anyone. If anything, the SJWs are a liability, because like how do you think people become anti-SJWs? They don't do it because they disagree with the arguments necessarily. They do it because they see SJW cringe compilation number 133 on YouTube that is force fed to them by the YouTube algorithm, right? And then they see all these weird looking people acting super cringe and being like really, really mad at stuff they can't even understand why they're mad at. So it makes it really easy to like laugh at them and like ridicule them and like not take them seriously, and that's a pretty big problem. Yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, women have to know their place. As I know how that sounds, and it is a joke, but like women like have to learn like when they're not being helpful, when they're just like being cringe, right? And they're not like, because I hate to say this, but it is usually females who like act out and like yell at people and cause these scenes in public, like the humongous what lady, remember that? Ooh, I don't want to watch that right now, but like it is usually the females who are like that. Maybe that is like a masculine thing, being able to like keep your composure and be calm and like argue like based on the facts other than like emotion. Of course guys get emotional, of course, but if we're going to convince guys, not like right-wing guys, but just normie guys, centrist moderates who are not involved in any side, we're going to have to learn how to talk to them like not in SJW, not in like academia like language, and not like condescendingly talk to them. Yeah. About 7 months ago, Xander Hall made a video predicting a new wave of anti-SJW content overtaking the online political discourse. Vosh later said that it's correct, we're going to call it the Xander Hall theorem, or just the Xan theorem for short. Yeah. Instead of media critics being attacked, LGBT teachers and children. Instead of ethics in games journalism, it's a woke agenda thing. This time backed by actual politicians, and instead of Neil Strauss's pickup book, which is an international bestseller, it's fast-spreading video clips. Yeah, at least the previous Gamergate had books instead of TikToks. Like, at least that's something. You actually have to actually make an effort to read a book. Reading a book like requires like an attention span, at least, where TikTok doesn't even require you to pay attention. You just scroll and scroll, and you just pick up whatever your brain like picks up. Yeah. Reactionaries push harder and harder as their way of life dies out, and it comes in waves, ultimately leading to violence. When the anti-woke alt-white terrorism reaches a fever pitch, the anti-woke sentiment will taper off as the crowd finally sees what they stubbornly refused to accept previously. They will behold us, but they'll be seen in the same way the KKK was 20 years ago. You mean they will finally see that they're just being violent and they're being led around? Yeah, who is in the KKK today? I mean, is that even? I guess it's still a thing, but like it's super cringe. Yeah, it's scary. The reactionary way of life is dying out, and that's why they're like reacting so hard. I mean, they're reactionaries, so they react, right? That's what they do. Um, yeah. Hopefully, as they get more extreme, they're going to lose some moderates to who are like, okay, this is going a little too far. But I don't know. They're like moving the rhetoric to the right, like gently but firmly, and consistently. They're moving the Overton window farther and farther to the right, normalizing more and more extreme behavior. Like they're literally like with the Trump FBI raid, they're like, oh, we're all domestic terrorists now because we're against the FBI. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I don't know how going up against the FBI is going to go for you. It's literally the most conservative organization in government. The Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's literally like the highest level of police. But it's going to be scary. It's going to be a scary few years. There's going to be like some sort of fascist movement in America within the next few years. If we're lucky, it won't be until the next after the next presidential election. But like, if it comes before 2024, we're going to be on a much scarier timeline then. Seriously. I wonder what the correlation is between autism and the alt-right pipeline. Rightoids target lonely dudes. Exactly. Alienated, lonely young men and boys are prime targets for the pipeline. Steve Bannon literally said this once. Yeah, Steve Bannon, the fucking demon himself, literally said, "Oh, we go into like video game forums and communities because we know that it's full of like antisocial losers who are like looking for like meaning in the world and can't find it." And those make it easier to make easier recruits because they're desperate and they don't have anything to lose. And yeah, I'm worried that like this is a blind spot in with like liberals or SJWs, because they will like alienate a lot of people for like not fitting into their tiny like little sliver of what's acceptable behavior, and like anyone who's excluded will inevitably be like scooped up by this other counter movement. I've sort of experienced this myself. I mean, I don't know. I guess I was like lonely and looking for purpose in life, and it's easy to like turn to simple, intuitive solutions rather than accepting that the world is a very complicated place, and there are a lot of harsh truths in this world. And we have to learn how to accept those truths and move on with our lives, and work on ourselves and try to be better people instead of blaming others for our problems. Like these people blame women for women not wanting to fuck them. No, if women don't want to fuck you, that's kind of on you. I think like women like do have really high standards these days, but so do men, and like that might be like a problem with like the loneliness thing. Like you can't find a mate, but like you won't accept what you can get. You have to be like, oh, no, that girl's not hot enough for me. I gotta go for someone better. But like, there is no one better for you, dude. This is the best you're gonna get, so you better take what you can get. And yeah, maybe you'll find that dating an ugly chick isn't so bad. Maybe, I wouldn't know. I never dated anyone ugly. Well, not that ugly. I think a lot of it has to do with media. Like, especially in this day and age where, like, we consume more media than we have, like, real world experiences, life experiences. Like, we gain our view of what the world should be like through media rather than through real life experiences. So when the real world does not meet up with the unrealistic expectations that have been set by the media, that's a letdown. We're disappointed and we lash out at that, because, like, media is supposed to be entertaining, okay? It's not supposed to be realistic. It's not supposed to present you with the harsh truths of reality. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to tell a certain kind of story, and it achieves that story by being, like, a certain way. Anyway, there's this other Twitter thread. Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson are absolutely two faces of the same coin. We're seeing how young men are particularly susceptible to their misogynistic ideologies for a reason, and much of that has to do with the conceived notion that they push forth that masculinity is in crisis. Oh, okay, this is a whole thing. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading all that. We live in a time there's an overwhelming collective feeling of constant dread and disillusionment brought about by late-stage capitalism that for many has rendered life meaningless, if not just devoid of purpose, and much of what we're conditioned to find contentment in. It's easy to latch on to these two individuals, especially because they offer us scope and direction amidst confusion. Insecurity that are rampant in the Western collective psyche, where overstimulation and systemic trauma has opened up a glaring void for many men. Systemic trauma, I wonder what they mean by that. Do they mean trauma is passed down from parents to child because the parents does not learn how to deal with their trauma? Yeah, that sucks. What they're indoctrinating men with is fear, rage, and resentment that they harbor. And they've done it through this ingenious maligning of what the dynamics of hierarchical power entails in our world by instilling this belief of victimization amongst men. They berate and shame them. They coerce them and exploit that insecurity. They themselves fabricate in you. They coerce them and exploit that insecurity. They themselves fabricate in you by propagating that you're weak or being oppressed or suffering at the hands of unnatural order being enforced upon you. Notions of what it means to be a man, and so on. Even though these existentialist crises are byproducts of the grotesque, alienating conditions for economic survival subjected upon us by capitalism, they individualize this phenomenon and divert you towards an enemy to distract you away from the true sources of your pain. Oh, this is what I was talking about before. People experience the contradictions of capitalism very viscerally, very personally. On a very personal level, they can see, oh, this world is not the way it's supposed to be. There's something deeply, fundamentally wrong with the way we've built our society. But it can never be capitalism. Not for these people. They can never admit that capitalism is a problem, so they create all these ways to cope. All these ways to say, oh, it's really something else that's causing this issue. It's all cope, really. It's like, oh, women don't want to fuck you because it's the woman's fault. They have too high standards, or they are whatever. What do they say? Women don't. I don't know. Women are decadent. They're holes. They're worthless holes that just want to fuck around, ride the carousel, and don't settle for like the nice guy, right? But unfortunately, like, that's how it's kind of always been, right? Like, people want to fuck hot people and not ugly people. Like, that's how it is, but like, and that's bad, but like, it's not really anybody's fault. If anything, you have to take responsibility for yourself and work on yourself and make yourself into someone a girl would want to fuck, right? that's the real answer. I mean, that's kind of what I did, and I actually get laid now. Imagine that. It works, trust me. It's a long and hard road, but I've learned that the easiest thing to do is often not the best thing to do. Unless it's sleeping. It's easy to go to sleep. Well, not for me, but like, it's easy to just lay down and do nothing. And that's what a lot of people do with, like, this guy mentioned overstimulation. You know, what are we doing? We're just sitting at our computers, wasting away our lives doing nothing. Where we have, the overstimulation has ruined our capacity for, like, what is it called? Delayed gratification, yeah. We have to have, like, everything now. Dialectic hip hop. It looks like dialectic chip hop. Rapper, poet, writer, and law student. That's a lot of things. And he's a anti-capitalism build. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, feminists will say men are toxic. Men have to stop being toxic. This is kind of like what ContraPoint said in her video about men. It's like, men are just told to stop being toxic, but like they aren't even told how to stop being toxic. There's no like clear path set for men for what to do. Or maybe the path is clear, but it's very hard to follow, and they need some, like, motivation. I think women have to understand that it's very hard being a man, okay? And so when men act in a toxic way, it's because often that, like, they're going through a lot of stuff, and, like, they're dealing with a lot of, like, insecurities. They're dealing, like, men have needs and wants that aren't being met, and, but just like how a woman, like, it's a meme that, like, men can't understand what women want. Well, it's sort of the other way around too. Women don't understand what men want, or like why men do the things they do. Women and men, males and females, really are just like totally different creatures, unfortunately. Yeah. And I think we're never going to really understand each other, so I think we just have to agree to disagree. We have to accept the fact that we're just biologically different, like fundamentally, neurologically different even. So we're just never going to understand each other, and I think we have to accept that, and we have to accept that, like, we have to accept that there are certain things that we're never going to understand about each other, and we have to accept that we're never going to, like, fully understand each other, and that's okay. We don't have to understand each other. We just have to tolerate each other and accept each other. Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to try to set a good example for men, and try to fill the void that Andrew Tate has left, because even though he's gone, like, he's going to have inspired a lot of guys, unfortunately, who follow in his footsteps and try to be the next Andrew Tate, right? I don't think anyone is going to ever, like, reach his level, because he's just such a ridiculous character. Like, he's a former kickboxer, reality show star, and then he, like, moved to Romania to avoid sex trafficking charges. So we're going to be fighting with the Andrew Tate wannabes while setting up a space for men on the left. There's not a good like space on the left for like unapologetically masculine men, because feminists don't see the value in masculinity, so they just want to destroy it. But like you're not going to win the culture war by saying you need to like abolish masculinity. No, that's not how it works. Sorry girls, but you're gonna have to put up with some masculine behavior if you're gonna want to win the culture war. Sorry. So look forward to seeing that in the future, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. I'm trying to make some more political content, but it's hard, dude. It's hard, like stepping out of my comfort zone and like trying new things, but I think I'm pretty good at it. Like I said, I'm a little bit autistic myself, so yeah, might be part of it. And also I'm like really tired. I'm really tired. I don't sleep very well. I'm gonna try to get some sleep tonight, but like, yeah. I think I'm gonna finish like this job in the next few days, so after that I think I'll be all good, hopefully. But by then the summer will almost be over. I feel like I wasted this summer just like trying to sleep and failing. But I'm trying my best, okay? We're all just trying our best, okay? Can't you respect that? Okay, well, thanks for watching, and see you later. Goodbye.